Usually, when somebody claims to have caught footage of a spirit touching them, it doesn't work too well as paranormal evidence, as you're relying totally on that person telling the truth, and not mistaking something innocent brushing up against them as something ghostly. But that consensus didn't stop Truth Paranormal, as he was able to catch evidence of being touched that we are struggling to debunk. We'll show you a zoomed-in, slowed-down version, just in case you didn't catch it. What business this ghost had pulling his shorts down, we don't know, and probably don't want to know either. He didn't shift his legs or his torso at all before they were pulled, so it couldn't be why the shorts moved. If there were some kind of strings attached to the shorts, we would have seen some sort of bunching from where it was tied to the fabric, and the shorts looked like slimmer fitting ones, so they didn't just drop from excess fabric around it. So, what the hell happened here? The guy behind the channel is a haunted item collector with a soft spot for creepy dolls, which might be an explanation, but what do you think? Any ideas as to what happened here? Or is this a handsy ghost? YouTube channel Gang Kwapi uploaded this creepy footage captured inside a playground, but not just your average playground. Nearby residents are absolutely sure that this one is haunted. Not just because they see weird things happening all the time, but also because years ago, 4 young kids were playing on this swing, when one of them accidentally jumped from it and broke his neck while landing, taking his last breath on the spot. After that, everyone swears that the area was never the same. Passers-by hear the sound of a child crying, and the sound becomes painfully loud after midnight. Some even claim to have seen a child ghost playing alone. Upon hearing these stories, the 2 investigators decided to check out the place precisely, where people reported hearing the cries and wails coming from. And that's when they captured something bone-chilling. Take a look.
ตอนนี้พี่โอจะทำการเริ่มพิธีกรรมสื่อสารกับน้องนะครับโดยการใช้ธูปและเทียนเนี่ยเอาสายสิญจน์เนี่ยพันนะแล้วก็พันที่มือพี่โอจุดแล้วก็ทำการสื่อสารว่าน้องเขารู้ตัวไหมว่าน้องเขาเฮ้ย
We could always blame it on the wind, right? Now that the guys are convinced that something needs to be done, they decide to perform a ritual to communicate with the ghostly child.
พิธีกรรมนี่คือต้องใช้สายสิญจน์พันเทียนใช่ไหมพันเทียนแล้วก็ธูปหมาหอนด้วยมันแก๊งๆนะหมาหอนด้วยหมาหอนด้วยดูดิทำเลยกูขนลุกเมื่อตะกี้นี่กูว่าแม่งพอตอนนี้ปุ๊บแม่งหมาหอนเลยอ่ะหมาแม่งหอนเลยอ่ะดูอ่ะหมาหอนเลยอ่ะไม่ดีอ่ะนะนี่ไม่ตะกี้ก่อนนั้นตอนนั้นตะกี้นี่ยังไม่มีหมาหอนถูกไหมใช่ยังเงียบกิ๊บยังเงียบกิ๊บอยู่เลยไม่ใช่ดูเสียงหมาหยุดไปแล้ว
The dogs nearby started barking as soon as the ritual began, and they suddenly stopped when the candle was lit. They then continued with the ritual and turned off all the lights except the candle. And then the candle went out. This sent shivers down the spine, and the investigators decided to quit and leave. But when they checked the footage, they found this. Is the playground really haunted, or did you spot something we didn't? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. How long could you handle living in a haunted house where things go bump in the night like this? While no context was added, there are plenty more creepy videos around the web showing the same kind of phenomena. Surely they can all be fakes, right? Check out this one uploaded to YouTube by Doctor Who. The guy who captured this one appears to be absolutely terrified, adding some credibility to the footage, especially when we can't see anything around the door handle to make it shake the way that it is. But this one uploaded by X Paranormal takes the creepy factor to a whole new level. These clips are definitely spooky, and if they're real, per people having to deal with it all. But paranormal clips centered around doors tend to get a lot of skeptical comments, brimming with attempted debunk. Fishing wire is the most common theory. There are a few instances in the second clip where the quality of the footage is so blurry, we wouldn't be able to tell if anything is attached to the door handle, even if it's squinted, which we did, for the record. And it's not a wild idea to assume that the other two clips could easily have subtle jump cuts before they open the door with all that camera movement. But the real question is, what if it is in fact real? What if these poor people can't afford to move out and have to take all this creepy rattling and banging on the chin? What would you do? Let us know. Our next chilling video comes from Magnus Mattsson. He moved into his own house, hoping to leave his old life behind, but something from his childhood home seemed to follow him and make itself comfortable. Items moving on their own and floating orbs are pretty standard in the new house, and the activity became so common that he set up cameras everywhere to prove he wasn't going crazy. But since the last time we featured him, things have become even creepier. Take a look at this scary video he recently posted on his TikTok account.
My house is still haunted. After a long time, something finally happened. It really scared me this time.
Worried about the whole scenario he found himself in, he began recording his staircase, as he could hear a strange knocking coming from that area every night. But after only 2 days of recording, he caught something that left him considering moving away. Imagine going to bed every night thinking that, at any time your front door could open by itself. Would you stay? Let us know in the comment section, but perhaps it's time for Magnus to pack up and find somewhere else to live. That's the ghost house now. Grandma's house tends to be a place that represents warmth and comfort. You usually leave with a full belly and a 20-pound note in your pocket. But for this person, their grandma's house represented fear and a need to always bring their spare brown pants. In their grandma's house, there was a chest of drawers, which came with strict instructions. Never open the top drawer, which they abided by, until tragedy struck when their grandfather decided to take his last breath. The night before the funeral, they heard a strange noise coming from the drawer room downstairs, and went to check it out, which is where they saw their grandma inside, flicking through an old photo album, and the door that should never be opened was open. She placed the album behind the door and smiled. A smile they would not be able to get out of their head. They were itching to know what was inside the photo album and in the drawer, so they sneaked a peek when their grandma wasn't around, which is when they saw a myriad of creepy dolls, and the photo album with images of their grandmother when she was young. These images immediately made them feel sick to the point where they had to pay a visit to their local hospital, unable to bring a high, feverish temperature down. They avoided their grandma after this, but when she passed, they called upon the guys over on the fourth wall to go check out the house and dispose of the album, which they did, not before having a nose through though, and what they saw made their blood run cold. He dropped the camera to the floor and quickly left the house, claiming he felt the album was dangerous. But if you look at the door behind him, just before he leaves, he had company. The figure of a man on the floor is said to have been lurking behind him this whole time. Meguro was sent to pick up the pieces, and the thing that sent the first shiver down his spine was the fact that the album was still on the floor, even when Kaneko said he put it back where he had found it. Meguro also found something else wrong with the forbidden chest door. A doll was missing, which he then found inside a baby carriage outside the front door, but he never expected the chilling discovery he was about to make. Someone has used this doll to make some kind of Asian version of a voodoo doll. It's been pierced repeatedly with what looks like a needle, and pairing that with the strange, ritualistic photos in the album, was Grandma involved in something cursed beyond our comprehension? Is that why she was smiling, looking at the album before her husband's funeral? Maybe because she cursed it. Was that figure behind the door Grandpa's spirit? Either way, we probably won't be going for a Sunday dinner around this grandma's house anytime soon.